please.
Welcome.
Are you in enough,
or
by the way? Are you completely...
Welcome?
I thought you said welcome.
Welcome.
Will is here. Will has come.
Will.
I am Will.
That's how we got here.
Welcome.
Yeah.
On command.
Yeah.
It's getting
It's
weird.
it's a Terminator storyline is what we're doing.
Will is from
Kingston.
Yes, I'm from here. I'm around. I live 20
the
minutes away.
website.
Filmgamer.com. Or filmgamer.ca. Or you know what? Filmgamer.net, because I actually
We don't
reviewed
have
that. It was a
any
package
.org.
review.
Just-
Yeah.
Do you have
What about
.org?
.org?
No, I don't.
You're not an
I'm not.
organization?
No, I'm not an organization.
okay.
And there's a kind of neutral reputation associated with organization. I'm not a neutral guy,
we-
even though I'm sitting in the middle right now.
Trying to keep us from fucking killing each
We
other.
got-
Do you have enough room, by the way, on his this telephoto lens? Like, do you know?
I guess we'll see.
It's wide
I
angle.
don't. Yeah. I hope so.
That's
Yeah.
how you know Phil knows he's going to fit in it, because he's used to filming in wide angle
Mm-hmm.
when he's doing those sex videos.
One day it'll be thin angle.
Oh, I wasn't making
I
a
don't-
fat
that
joke.
didn't
I'm making a
really-
big cock joke.
I'm gonna have bariatric surgery, so I'm gonna be thinner. And that's where I was trying to
Bariatric?
go.
I've never heard of that.
That's where it's weight
That's
loss
where you
surgery.
get turned into Bill Hader.
It's where they
Bariatric.
make your
Bariatric.
stomach smaller.
Oh yeah. I saw that
Ricky
on
Lake,
Super Size Me. I
Ricky
think
Lake.
That was the
I
first
thought I'm the
big
fucking
cel-
old person.
celebrity
here.
to get
Ricky
that.
Lake.
Yeah. What a
It was
deep
a
cut,
big
deep cuts
controversy.
here on the Because Movies
big
podcast. Ricky
controversy
Lake.
back then.
Yeah.
Because they were all like, so many people were judging her because she had weight loss surgery because people didn't
Also, because
understand
she was
it
a
at the
woman,
time.
probably. I mean,
Right.
let's be honest.
And she's
Excuse
a gay woman too, isn't she? Really? Is she gay?
Why are you pointing to me? I don't.
She-
I don't know.
think
She
you're the
could
one
be.
that knows the
She
most
could
about
be.
Ricky Lake here.
Yeah. I
I
get.
thought that's why people hate
You
her.
ever?
because she
You
was
know
a
what
gay
I was
woman.
wondering? Ricky Lake is one of those celebrities or actors of like, what are they famous for? You know.
She started as a fucking comedian, right?
Yeah,
Remember
okay.
she was in.
She
Wasn't
had
she
a-
in Hairspray?
She had a popular talk
She-
show.
Oh, Hairspray. That's it. It's Hairspray. Oh, by the way, did
She
you
had
guys?
a TV show about Hairspray.
Did you guys know though that on TikTok somebody posted it went viral and they didn't know that
you do that?
Hairspray? They didn't know that Hairspray was about racism.
Really?
Or did you guys know?
It's,
Or have you
I
ever
find
seen
it
it?
kind of obvious when you watch it.
Yeah, because I remember saying that it's like because it takes place in Baltimore, John Waters, and if you watch The Wire, you know how racist people can be in Baltimore. I guess I had a teacher who was actually from there in university.
Was he racist?
No, but he taught cities and social change, so he knew how to change into a racist.
See, I didn't find the Wire racist, but I know that there was definitely a lot of elements.
No,
of
it's
racism
just
in it.
I guess a good show. I don't like.
I love
It's
The
weird
Wire.
when
It was
people
very
say, "Is this whole thing like with Dave Chappelle's thing? Like, is this whole thing racist?" And it's like, oh, or is this transphobic or whatever? It's like, no, it's just like good or bad. Like I don't. It's weird to politicize thing, and yeah, I don't think it's that good. But what the heck are we supposed to even be
On
talking
this
about?
episode, we're talking about injustice.
See, Phil, what?
Yeah,
We're talking about
yeah.
John-
We
fuck.
start with Injustice, which is I thought it would be bad. I watched an IGN review of it, and they said it was terrible. And considering the Killing Joke was terrible, in my opinion, I thought it was bad. But you guys watched it, so tell me what you think.
You go first, Phil.
Yeah.
It was
Age before beauty.
boring.
Wow, what a surprise!
I love the comic book.
Yeah.
I think the video game is really good in terms of the storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the movie they tried to cram so much into it for an hour
Yeah,
and a half.
I
They
heard
tried
that.
to get a lot of the plot point to the comics.
It's-
It should have been a TV series, basically.
Yes, and done by someone else because god awful.
What are they doing in
I
that?
thought it was fine. Not fun. Like up until a certain point, until it's like, Superman's. Oh man, I shouldn't have done this. At the end, and you're like, what? Like the Superman's whole fucking buildup is for like an hour and a half. Then he's like, God damn it, I probably shouldn't have done this. And then it's fucking over.
I fell asleep 4 times.
Four. How long is the movie? Is it like 80 minutes?
Yeah,
It's
it's
gotta
like an
be.
hour-
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
it's
fell
like an
asleep.
hour and a
So
half.
every 20 minutes, you're like,
I
thought
kept
it-
on nodding off. Yes.
I thought it was enjoyable. The whole Deadwing stuff, which is right from the comic book, that
Okay.
was kind of stupid. But it was even stupid in the comic book. And I kept on waiting for Sherlock Holmes chimp to show up. Like he shows up, like all these guys from the fucking comic because they pull in the entire DC universe, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Constantine shows up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Zoltar,
John.
whatever the fuck her name is, shows up. I kept on waiting for all those guys to show up, but
Yeah.
they never did.
yeah. And what are they teasing when they do this stuff? Oh, like everything is like a tease for, like, oh well, we're gonna do this, and then they don't. It's like there's nothing I hate more than something that's like a build up to something of next time, and that's to me it started with the Amazing Spider-Man
This
2.
should have been a live action and done by someone else.
That's
And
not Zack Snyder.
Not Zack Snyder.
I-
Let's just
like,
fucking put that out right now.
Even Zack Snyder would
No.
make a better.
No. He could make this fucking movie.
Yeah,
the only
live
difference is it would be 6.5
Hours
hours long.
long.
And it needs to be. And
But
that,
it would have
That's
4.5
why it needs to be a
hours
TV
of
show.
Superman
Yeah,
being fucking
exactly,
sad.
TV.
Going, should I do this? Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Yes.
Lois, I'm conflicted. Should I do it? Oh.
And-
And then we have a shot of him with his fucking hands out like he's on the cross because Superman's like,
But-
Jesus.
but his
for
muscles
the
were-
800th time.
his
Oh,
Yes.
muscles will be
God.
bulging, and he'll have music going on in the
Just
background.
like Tony Scott is dead, so it's unfortunate that he can't do
It'll
it. But
be
the guy
slow
who,
motion.
you know who directed the Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah, Joseph Kosinski. He's an architect in real life.
Really? Kaczynski
And,
directed that?
and-
Tron Legacy is so fucking good. Even Oblivion is really good.
Yeah, I really like Oblivion.
That's
Tron Legacy
amazing.
runs out of steam after the light cycle
I
race.
fucking
thing.
love Tron. I don't know
Have
why.
you seen Only the Brave, by the way? The movie he did right before this one. Yeah, it's about firefighters. Stars Thanos, Josh Brolin in it, and it's about California wildfires. Yeah, it's good.
I'm surprised to hear Kaczynski did it because Tony Scott, when you watch that goddamn volleyball scene in Top Gun,
Yeah.
Tony Scott's got some shit that he needs to come to terms with. Like,
You know,
it's cool to be gay, but that scene is over. When I was a kid watching that fucking movie with my sister, because she was, how old's my sister? I don't know, 6 years older than me.
She's definitely over 25 because you lose track of your age
That's-
after 25.
That movie is super gay. That part is, and I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, but I
Mm-hmm.
remember watching it going, whoa.
I remember hearing about it on The Ringer, which is like another podcast network, almost as good as us, but not quite. He
Not
talked
as homophobic as
yeah,
we are.
one of the
Like
people,
Phil.
yeah, one of the people.
You like that? Yeah. Let's go back talking.
I'm
He talked
gay.
about. He talked about.
How come
how,
you're not in the middle then?
Yeah. Whoa.
How about-
He talked about how he did not know how to shoot the movie, so he just shot it from all angles. And why are you wearing
The director of
jeans?
photography for Top Gun?
No, Tony Scott himself said I had
fuck,
no
okay.
idea to do, so I just shot it from every angle and I shot the shit out of it. And he's like, I didn't know how to shoot that scene, so I just like greased them all up, put them on the beach, and just there is not an angle that Tony Scott has not covered because he covers it from all angles.
Fuck. But the reason I was bringing it up was Zack Snyder, same thing. Like, dude, it's cool to like muscle-bound guys, but like when you watch The Watchmen and you watch
Watchmen is terrible, by the
oh
way.
god, don't even start on the fucking Watchmen. That movie is the worst. But
TV show is excellent.
but
Speaking
it
of
was
falling asleep,
What?
that's all I got.
Listen to me talk about
No,
The
no, The Watchmen. in
See, he
general.
fucking says movies, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me tell you about that movie, and then he brings up another. Oh yeah, let me tell you about that movie.
Yeah, sorry about that.
My whole point is,
It's like
Zack
ADHD,
Snyder
the podcast.
and Tony Scott. There's some shit you got to deal with
Mm-hmm.
in your real life about maybe the type of things that you're into, which is totally cool. But dude, you gotta come to terms with it. That's why I never want to see another Zack Snyder movie. One, I don't want to sit through a movie that's fucking 8.5 hours long. The Lord of the Rings extended editions were good enough for that. But I just can't stand to watch another Zack Snyder movie. That Army of the Dead was fucking terrible.
Wasn't very
Justice
good.
League
No.
was terrible.
So it was, yeah.
What's a good movie Zack Snyder did? I guess Dawn of the Dead.
I'd argue Dawn of the Dead, but Dawn of the Dead, I still don't like it because the idea of running zombies is fucking stupid. I agree with Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, who said that death is not an energy drink. It shouldn't make you go any faster.
Yeah, that's
So-
just because he made a movie that they didn't,
But
different direction.
Unless you're drinking Monster,
Yeah.
and it gives you
sponsor us.
Oh wait,
on
no.
becausemoviespodcast.org.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd argue that Dawn of the Dead is only good because James Gunn wrote it, and James Gunn is an
You could
amazing
say that.
fucking writer.
Because he brings the dark humor that matches Zack Snyder's nihilistic sensibilities.
Right, and
Yeah.
James Gunn does it right. Because
Yeah.
can you imagine if fucking like what was it, Chris Terrio that
Yeah.
wrote Justice League? Can you imagine that guy doing fucking Dawn of the Dead? Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
I
everything
can.
would be on the fucking nose. Everything
Yeah.
would be like, oh, I'm sad that you are dead. I wish that we had more money in this mall. Too bad that so many people live with so much and others live without anything.
It's
Chris Terrio fucking sucks.
But it's kind of funny because everywhere Chris Terrio goes, there's studio interference. Like when he co-wrote the terrible Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of humanistic dialogue in that of like them, joking over the flashlight or something like that. And maybe it's because it has good actors or J.J. Abrams has a sense of humanity. That's the one thing that he brought to Mission Impossible 3, even though I don't really like Mission Impossible 3, is that he made Ethan Hunt more of like a human with a backstory and that kind of thing. But like in Argo is good, but it's like, Batman versus Superman from a studio standpoint was kind of a disaster. Justice League was definitely a
But do you
disaster
think it
from
was-
a studio.
Do you think it was Terrio? that-
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And he's given so many interviews that are away from that. I'm editing something for Joe Blow now, top 10 DCEU movies. So I had to do some research. But like, it's just so happens, nothing to do with him, but like, you know, a studio fiasco after studio fiasco. So it's like my
there's a
argument
lot
is
of-
you can't really know how bad of a writer is, just that he's maybe not good enough. I don't know. But it's like basically to the point of what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not a big Chris Terrio fan, and yeah, once I
He's
saw
not
that he
like
was-
he's not good, I guess.
But he's but like we were talking about before, he's one of those guys that's perfectly adequate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he needs to be involved in something that you watch and you're like, oh wow, I love the writing. I love like everything about it was really, really good. And once I saw that Chris Terrio and J.J. Abrams wrote Rise of Skywalker, holy fuck, dude. You
as soon
can't
as I
find-
heard about that, as soon as I heard that Chris Terrio was writing it, I figured it would
You're like,
suck.
yeah, this ain't gonna be good.
Never heard of Chris Terrio. I'm sorry.
Chris Terrio won an Oscar for screenwriting Argo, and then
Argo's
and then he didn't do anything until Batman versus Superman, and then he did Justice League, and then he did Star Wars Episode 9, which is kind of a spectacular string of, in my opinion, narrative failures.
Yep.
So I don't think of him at least as an competent screenwriter. Although he says the Snyder Cut basically takes all of his script and pretty much films the entirety of his script.
Really?
Yeah, and I find Zack Snyder's Justice League interesting, but like it's horribly inefficient as a piece of storytelling. It's just like 4 hours. There's so much like wasted space. I can I give a controversial take just right here?
Okay.
Controversial take.
We don't have
Controversial
those here.
take. I don't not hate Justice League, the theatrical cut.
There was-
I understand that
Oh
it's
my
not like a
God.
great movie, but I think it's funny. It doesn't like waste my time, and I remember going in with low expectations and coming out pleased and being like, "Oh, that wasn't as terrible as I thought." And my dad thought you thought it was going to be terrible. I'm
Are
like,
you-
"Well, yeah."
Are you kicking him out or? am
I was gonna say, did we watch the same Justice League
I
movie?
like the scene of Aquaman sitting there talking about whatever, and he starts to ramble, and he's sitting on the lasso of truth. That's just kind of like a lighthearted, just a little touch of humanity that like Joss Whedon brings to the script that you know for sure that Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
because he's never talked to another human being in his life, adds. And it's just kind of like, I know people don't like Joss Whedon, especially behind the scenes. There are complaints about him, and he's an immature baby. From basically what I've heard, it's all hearsay. But yeah, I didn't
See, for
mind
me,
it.
With when in
I know
speaking of
it's not a
Justice
good
League,
movie, but I
watching
enjoyed
Justice
it.
League, the whole movie, you can absolutely tell what's
Zack's.
J.J. Abrams, what's Zack Snyder, and what's. And the worst fucking part is the part where they're mixed together. The worst is
Mm-hmm.
where Superman picks up Batman and he's like, "Do you bleed?" And
Yeah.
you're like, "Okay, that's Zack
You
Snyder."
will.
And then he throws fucking Batman. Batman hits the car and goes, "Oh yeah, something's broken. Something's broken."
Oh yeah.
What a fucking shift in tone. You can't do a shift in tone like that. That's like fucking Saving Private Ryan, blowing somebody's head off and hearing like boing, like that. You can't do a tonal shift like that. Your
Yeah.
fucking audience can't take that unless they have ADHD.
None of that is an invasion.
Yeah.
Invasion. We're not even talking about.
We're not
that.
talking about invasion.
We're talking about
Injustice.
Yeah, we got to give Phil some time to talk.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't mind. I came to talk about injustice, and
Yeah.
we pretty much did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? Injustice.
Is there much to talk about in it? Because I
Yeah, there
didn't.
really isn't.
I was kind of like, how did you guys like watch it? By the
I
way, did you
was-
rent it? Did you
I
something
watched
else?
it on my
On your
HBO
your
Something.
box,
Yeah.
streaming
One of those.
Peacock service.
Yeah.
I was really excited for this movie. Like, I was hoping they would bring us the comic book or the video game type thing.
There's no fucking way they could do the comic book in a single movie, though. It's impossible.
I know. That's why I was hoping it would be like a TV show or I wish we could go back in time and erase this.
Yep.
It's not
Did
worth
you
watching.
did you think was there anything like behind the scenes of like who is involved that made you think it was going to be good?
No, just the story.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Because the Harley Quinn TV show is good.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen the Harley Quinn TV.
It's very funny.
It's animated.
Yeah, it stars Big Bang Theory's Kaylee Cuoco
Yep.
as Harley Quinn, and it's kind of like an R-rated, edgy comedy, kind of Adult Swim type.
She doesn't take her tits
I
out.
was gonna
though,
say
Rob.
that's why I haven't seen it because it stars someone from Big Bang Theory.
But she's a pretty good Harley Quinn. Like she's pretty much of that energy.
She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I think Josh Duhamel, I can never figure out how to say it.
Duhamel.
He's Batman.
No, it's I can't remember who it was. They replaced who it was. I just remember that Justin Hartley from
Oh, I'm
This Is
sorry,
Us is Superman.
Josh Duhamel plays Harry Cooper in Night of the Animated Dead, which was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duhamel does a lot of voice work and
He
stuff.
does, yeah.
And he was just that Netflix show that I watched the first episode and I couldn't finish it. The miniseries that they did, that Mark Millar came out.
The Jupiter Ascending or Jupiter Rising?
Yeah.
thought that
We
was
don't
pretty
even
good.
recall the title of it
I
correctly.
can't
thought it was
remember. I know
alright.
I watched it. I can't remember.
It's
Jupiter-
Jupiter's
Legacy. Jupiter's
Jupiter
Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah. It's bad.
Didn't we review it?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
What was it
You
about
don't
again?
remember?
I like that Kurtwood Smith showed up.
I'm not
and then
even
blows
clear-
his fucking head off.
I'm not even clear. Like the most interesting part of that series I remember in the episode that I watched. I think I watched 2 episodes. Was that like everything that took place in the past was interesting, and then everything now it's just like, oh wow,
My favorite
gotta
part
tell
of
a
that
story.
was like, oh man, this is interesting. This whole story. Oh, it's aliens.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, come on.
Yeah. You have Justin Hartley on here under your notes.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is Justin
'Cause
Hartley?
We're
He was
gonna-
on
we're-
Smallville.
We're doing something
Arrow.
new this
Oh, fuck that
episode,
guy.
and it's Did You Know? So one of them is Justin Hartley, who plays the voice of Superman, previously played the live-action role of Green Arrow on the TV series Smallville.
He was also most
Did
famous
he stars Arrow, the guy who plays from the Arrow show?
on Smallville. He was Green
Okay,
Arrow.
but he wasn't Arrow in the Arrow show.
No,
I don't know
that
what that
wa-
actor's name is.
That's Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell.
You're right, and he's really into wrestling. So that's
Yeah, my brother. He's on a
Apparently
TV
he's
show. He was on TNT. My
Apparently
brother
he's
watches
a
it.
wonderful human being. I've heard nothing but good things about that.
It's true.
That ML guy.
the second DC movie to be based on a video game after Batman Assault on Arkham.
I never watched the first. That was, but I did play through all the Arkham games. I
Same
love them.
here on PC. One of the very fucking
Oh.
few games that I played through.
I gotta
Arkham
say
City, Arkham
this.
Asylum.
A friend of mine in grade 11 let me borrow
Was Batman.
Infamous 2, and I let him borrow Arkham Asylum. Jamal, if you're watching, I
it
still yes,
Give me my
please.
fucking game back.
It's been since like 2011.
Horrible trade.
Do you
yeah,
remember that terrible game? I think it was called Manhunt, where you were a convict. That
Yeah, that
broke out,
scared me when I
and
was
you
a
had
kid.
to fucking choke me, like put a bag in their head and
Yeah, yeah.
fucking choke
It
them.
was
scared me.
It was banned in a lot of places.
Hillary Clinton got involved with that censorship
The whole
thing
PRC
when Manhunt,
bullshit.
because in Manhunt 2 came out on Wii, where you could use the nunchucks to like
Strangle people?
yeah, and it like they wanted to get an R rating, and of course Rockstar like stepped into that. But you know, it's kind of interesting as I'm an older person now. I kind of realize it's like I get where the adults were coming from up there of a lot of violent stuff
There
now.
was Atari out when
Yeah.
I was younger. You fucking guys are not young.
What year were you born?
77.
32.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were born in
They were
1930.
They were just bringing out newspapers. I met
The printing
I met
press.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah.
So what would you rate?
Injustice?
Yeah, not Invasion.
Oh, Injustice? I don't know. Injustice was sad because I understand the potential for it because it was such a good fucking comic. I never played the video game, but I read the comic.
Gods Among Us.
Out of 10.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
That's reasonable. I say 3.
And I didn't watch it because I didn't think it was worth my
So he
time.
gives it a 2.
He won,
It wasn't
he
worth
won
my
the
time.
deal.
Not
You know
rated.
what? Everything now that we're gonna review, we have to say is it will wait. How much of Will's time is it worth? Out of
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
0.
I'm probably the harshest critic on here. I'd say probably
What's your website again?
filmgamer.com or filmgamer.ca or filmgamer.net.
What about .biz?
Yeah, no.
.org?
No. Yeah. Also on TikTok at filmgamer, Twitter at filmgamer1, on Facebook page at filmgamer streaming because I had filmgamer and then Facebook took me down at 500 likes.
Fucking Facebook.
I know it was like right. I don't
So,
know.
like, we want to replace you with one of our staff who is now Film Gamer.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Am I being replaced?
No,
I always
maybe
thought
me.
like, where's this gonna go? Like, are we gonna get like, what happens, guys, if we get like super famous? Like, who's buying who? You know, are
Maybe.
you guys buying Phil? Are you guys buying
Who's
Phil?
buying who?
Are you guys
no,
buying-
You know what? Let's do a whole bunch of. Oh no, I was gonna say let's do a whole bunch of exercise, and since I'm old, I'll die first. But I think that might be Phil.
Honestly, if anyone buys me a computer, you've bought me.
No, wow.
That's,
I can be
that's how it
bought.
comes
I
down.
love how every video we do, Phil keeps on going. What if we get big? I'm like, Phil, manage your expectations. No one would pay money to ever fucking watch me on anything.
Oh, come on. If Screen Junkies was bought by like fandom, we can be bought by somebody, I'm sure. And then,
That's a good point.
and yeah, I think we
What's
could.
Snyder's fucking studio
There's
called?
a
Let's get
lot
bought
of
by
people.
him.
A lot of
Let's just,
people.
we need to post this on Vero. That's why.
There's
Shout out
a
to
lot
Vero.
of people who are like you, Rob, very masochistic, so it'd be fine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say masculine, and it's because of my man boobs.
No.
That's why I'm masculine.
I'm so jealous. I have the least amount of man boobs here.
But who has the most, me or you?
Yeah.
I-
I mean,
Becausemovies.
.org.
No, that's not
Is-
it. Becausemoviespodcast.com.
Bye, everybody. Are we saying goodbye?
no. Where's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end of the
that's-
segment?
that's-
Okay. Yeah.
You have to like stare it out.
Well, usually we dance, so dance.
Yeah, you have to dance. The rest of us are just gonna stare.
Don't.
Don't ruin my
I
mic.
only have
It's
so
my
much
job.
room. That's what these are for.